What's going on, you guys? Info Fox Got Gears channel, and hope you guys doing safe out there during the COVID-19 pandemic. And like I said, wear those masks. They can save your life a lot. Anyways, back to the content. Today we're going to be discussing the whole info about the M81 camo, or aka the US woodland camo. Now, another video we might do, which I might mention it right now, just because you guys looking in the background. We have a few other camouflage that we're going to do a deep dive in. The only way we could do that is get the loadout first. So right now I got the M81 lightweight loadout. Kind of a 1990 or 1980 based type of loadout. I also got the fast helmet cover for the M81. On top of it, so I've been doing a lot of research about what the M81. So for this info video, we'll be doing a dive deep in what the M81, how was it invented, how effective, and is it really worth it or is it not? Which the obvious answer is it is worth it, because I'm going to tell you straight up, this is my favorite camouflage to wear all the time when I'm in the field. So if it's airsoft, paintball, or real still use, or maybe hunting, this camouflage is a lot perfectly better for the natural vegetation blend when you're playing the woodland. I will say there's only good camo here in Texas for sure. So if those of you are asking, hey, what's the best camouflage here in Texas? A lot of people would say multicam, or maybe rare US Marine Marpat M-Frog. That's a good one too. I need to get into that one. Couldn't find a real one. I mean, the jackets, yes, but I need to find a combat shirt. I'm a combat shirt fan guy, so anyways, back to the topic. M81s. The M81 is a camouflage base pattern, which I'm going to show you guys. It's a camouflage that was developed in 1970 by the Armed Force Defense, kind of a branch that were doing a lot of camouflage experiment. There was another camouflage I saw in a prototype that was actually had tiger, the Vietnam tiger stripes on a M81 kind of pattern. There were so many of them, they were even going to go for a solid green, but more olive green kind of a uniform. But the final pick was in 1981. That's why the M81 woodland BDUs. So, in a terms, let me tell you what it's capable of. So the M81 is a perfectly good blend if you're wearing and walking in the woods. I know for sure if you're around Texas. So I'll tell you, like maybe around San Antonio, it's very effective. It works a lot. Maybe not the flak the flora work, the digital flora, but that's another video and review we're going to be doing. For right now, we're doing the M81. So the M81 is a pretty common camouflage that you see people buy in the market these days. Not as much as the multicam. And if you guys are very new with the multicam, or you probably not, you see these a lot everywhere. A lot of airsofters and operator wannabes. I'm going to point that out. I'm going to be wearing this a lot on the field. It's pretty cool camouflage. It's made by Cry back in maybe mid 2000s. That's another rabbit hole we're gonna dig in another video. I just don't have the full uniform loadouts, but even then, I still gotta dig into it. It's still serviced today. The M81 was branched in with the U.S. Army, U.S. Marines, and Air Force, because obviously I have an Air Force version right here, which I need to rip that pouch up. There's the Air Force One, and I believe the Navy kind of got into it after the time comes when other camouflage were now adopted, and they decommissioned gear. I try to remember why they decommissioned it, but the M81 camouflage was decommissioned. I know around the early 2000s when I was a kid growing up, you saw a lot of Army men wearing those Army Pixel, and that's another camouflage we'll talk about later in the next video or something like that. I'm planning to get another beautiful loadout. But for now, M81. They made a lot of gear for the M81 camouflage. Between the M81 and the brother of the hold on, I'm trying to pull it up. It's the U.S. tricolor desert camo uniform. That's what I'm trying to say. So originally it was a chocolate chip, it is a now vedio. But this one, it was the first original M81. I mean, there's others one that were original than this one. As far as the official use, this was more official than the other. There was like over a bunch of prototypes. I saw kind of a few images and all the camouflage base that were all similar to each other, but the M81 was the final pick for the camouflage to be serviced by the military or defense force in the military. So during the time, it was 1980s or 1990, and this camouflage, they had two options. The desert, actually no, there was a desert. The desert tril camo was not invented until they decommissioned the chocolate chip camo. I forgot the name of the camo, but I call it the chocolate chip because it was more of a chocolate chip based. I think during around early 90s, that's when the desert tricolor was now in use. And they still use the helmet cover for the chocolate chip, but it's kind of a cool pattern that I want to get into. It's a very vintage pattern I want to get into. It was probably like a 1970s kind of a camo base. I don't think I even seen photo proof they were using it during the 70s. I think I saw more of the 80s and 90s were using it. Maybe the late 2000s too. Yeah, the late 2000s they were like just not used too much. Around the 2000s, the Navy used this a lot, or the desert tricolor. It was a two camouflage used a lot. Bunch of photo proofs of it. But anyways, the M81 had a good camo for you walking into woodland. So the only pros and cons is close range is pretty bad. Like anyone can spot you, but anything like mid or far range, you're kind of harder to spot as long as you don't make too much movement or you walk around the right blend nature where you're at. This one's a little darker than other camouflage, like Dimension, German Flecktarn, Russian Flora, Pixel Flora, and then there's like multicam and other camouflage I can try to think of. British, I think it was the British 6. I don't know. It was I can't find the right name for the camouflage, but I know Britain. You guys in the UK have that camouflage. Let me guys down in the comment below what name of that camouflage they used in Britain. I know it's different. I actually like it. It's kind of a Falkland and / Rhodesian type of camo. But anyways, M81 was more of a retro tradition uniform. All branches use it a lot. I haven't heard too much word about it. I was watching a little of Mikey B's channel and got a little info about the woodland. So like I told you, it was been through a lot of prototypes. There's a lot of prototype camo, but the M81 was picked. The M81 was picked, and then after the M81 was picked, it was branched in with a lot of military branches. To Army, to Marines, between even Army, Navy. I don't know if the Navy used it, but I know the Marines and Army used it. I don't know about Air Force, but I know Air Force did use it too. So that's another camouflage that Air Force used. So once around 2000s, both branches decided to change camouflage. So around early 2000s, they got rid of the woodland for the Army Pixel. And then the Marines ditched the Army use woodland / desert tricolor for the classic and very effective M-Frog Marpat Desert. And then later soon they actually get the green version of this one. And then Air Force kind of just went with I don't know if it's a weird thing, but Air Force kind of got the Air Force Tiger Stripe, where it's like the Pixel, but it's more striped. So one thing I didn't like about that camouflage, or I did like about it, is interesting, just not too effective on the field. It was more of a, hey, if you have a backpack, it's effective to carry around. And then the Navy went with the another digital pixel. I think it was navy blue digital. That's another camouflage they went with. Jesus, I'm getting a little dry. Sorry about that. But the M81 still effective camouflage today. So now let's talk about today. So you don't see a lot of people buying these a lot because it's camouflage. A lot of people avoid buying it. It's outdated, even though it's still effective. Sorry. Yeah, that water. Anyways, it's effective over multicam. Slightly when it comes to you hanging out in the woods, it's more effective. But anything like a desert or tan-based nature vegetation, as I call it, the multicam has a better advantage on the desert type of. But anything like wood or jungle, it's very good. Jungle, especially, maybe I could see this being more jungle-based. But anyways, this is a more affordable camouflage in a uniform loadout. I like the whole conversation. I keep seeing a lot of these YouTubers, which I don't have nothing against them, but they kind of said this: hey, if you want a good uniform, buy Cry multicam. It's pretty good. And Grand Thumb is like, yeah, Woodland's pretty good, but there's all camouflage out there. But other YouTubers are just straight up saying multicam. I'm like, dude, look at the camouflage you could buy at your surplus for a fair price, and still can manage to get a big buck and make a happy budget in your bank account. You have to go all out and buy an airsoft combat shirts and say, once you buy that nice combat shirt, you'd be saying, oh, I like this camouflage, and then you sell it. I would recommend anyone just to buy BDUs, non-combat shirt base, wear them, and if you like them, then buy the combat shirt. So that way you're just going to spend a little more money on the camouflage you'd be wanting to get, rather than just buying a combat shirt that you don't want to camouflage. Rather than buy a combat shirt in the future, and then in the future you're going to say, I don't like this camouflage anymore, it's not effective. That's why I open doors, try all the camouflage. Right now I'm trying to get into the Russian Florida Pixel Florida. That's another camouflage that was very effective. I haven't put this camouflage to test on the field, so later on the paintball I'm actually going to take it in the field. Play a lot of MagFit paintball. And if you guys are wondering, MagFit paintball is just magazine-based paintball guns. So M81's not popular, but very original. There's a lot of controversy how bad or good it is, back and forth, and then you get these fancy YouTubers that have a lot of cash in their hand or say, oh, buy multicam. And it kind of triggers me a lot. Where this last video I watched showed a man saying, oh, Amazon versus Cry. I'm like, I can agree. Amazon products are pretty crappy. For example, I got one good example to show you guys how crappy Amazon is when it comes to buying uniforms. This I didn't buy for Amazon, for a disclaimer, and I didn't buy it for Amazon. A guy on Facebook said I was selling an M81 combat shirt. I said, sure, let me take a look at it. Took some photos. He kind of had bad lighting on it, so the only problem is I would have told him no if he had better lighting on the pics. So, went ahead and bought off it on Facebook. To only find out, he gave it to me for $15, so I wasn't losing any money. I was losing $15. This was like a while back. This camouflage pattern is nowhere near close to the real M81 uniform. And when I unpackaged it, it was actually purchased from Amazon. I looked up the brand on Amazon, and they sell it there. The only thing I was a close call is, it was worth $30 to $40 on Amazon for a comic shirt, when you could just go to your local surplus or tax store and buy like combat shirts that are perfectly good, camouflage, and not the knockoff of the real version. Because now I realize Chinese can fuck up a lot of camouflage. They can fuck up on the multicam. They can also fuck up on the M81s. Now, I can tell you right now, the material for this one, I don't like it. It's pretty crappy. It's pretty shitty. I put it on. I'm kind of a little mad about this transaction. Like $15, I know it's not a lot of money lost, but it's still $15 you lost. I put it on and I just don't like it. I feel like something's poking me a lot. I feel like I'm getting a rash even though I'm not. It's airable. I can agree with it. It's airable. But it doesn't go well. A lot. And I'll show you guys right now how it looks. And just to let you guys know, I'm a little big guy. So I'm a big guy. Planning to lose all that weight. Let me just take my pistol web belt, harness, whatever you guys like to call it. Take my jacket off. I always wear. I don't know if you guys like it. I'm wearing my hard bass t-shirt just for the fun of it. Because I know in this video I'm going to take off my jacket. So why not? So here you have the comic shirt. It's another mini. We're doing a mini review on this. Because anything Amazon products, I would do a separate video. But for this one, it's a good topic. Right now, we're talking about woodland. And I'm going to do a mini review on this. So, between real, fake, and just far on crap, this is the shittiest pattern I've ever seen. It's almost nowhere near as the real m81. By taking a look of the material, it can look like yeah, you already heard of pop. That's pretty bad. Real combat shirts are not supposed to do that. I can show you what a real one does. This real one, you don't hear pop or nothing. This one's badly sued. Like the fucking China. I bet you $20 fucking the Chinese military are using this kind of shit for their military branch. And they're like, yeah, China. And look at this shitty uniform, man. What the fuck? I feel bad for the labor people. You know, if people in China would move to the United States and can make like this shit, they could work for factories that make military uniforms and they can make them more money than you do in China. But your labor in China is pretty fucking shitty. Which I feel bad, but it's pretty bad. Camouflage, I'm not saying it's very shitty. What the fuck? There's already white stains. I pull this out of the bag, straight from the bag, and already you're seeing white stains on the. Okay. Time to put this on. Let me take off my hat, put it on right here, and put on the combat shirt. And I really don't like to put this on. Tried it on once and I did not like it. I can tell you one thing, it smells like a brand new car. Maybe you were sitting on someone else's car, brand new car, and they got that smell. It smells really... Okay, so I checked the brand out, you check the reviews, and bunch of fucking edgy airsoft buyers just buying this shit, and they're like, oh, it's pretty good, it fits well. Yeah, this shit fits, until you get one comment that you highly respect. It doesn't fit me. I bought XL. Doesn't go well. So, perfectly good video. I'm going to do a review on this. Shitty, because, hold on. This little neck collar, something's poking my neck where it's itching the heck out of my neck. Like, oh, I don't like that. Yeah, true specs, I'm looking forward to buying you guys, not some fucking Amazon airsoft shitscape uniform. I know E-Vike sells some good stuff too. I looked at E-Vike and they actually sell good stuff than what Amazon can fucking sell. But then I hear people saying that even E-Vike is a hit or miss. Like it can give you a bad batch. Look at that. There's probably more Velcro right here, and this is the tightest it can get. So when you buy uniforms, this is another tip for uniforms. When you buy uniforms, military uniforms have 3 or couple of different sizes. So if you get a large, you gotta make sure it's a large long or a large small. So if you're a pretty tall guy, but you're kind of skinny, get a large or XL small. If you're a pretty chunky guy or buff or chunky guy, get an XL or large long, so the sleeves are long enough. Or if you're a long guy, you can get an XL, make the sleeves longer. It's all, and if you're like pretty big but not too big, you can get an XL regular or just large regular or medium regular, depending on the size. Long, it makes your sleeves longer and everything. Obviously, they make the sleeves a little longer. And I can't even roll this shit up right. Like, I can't even roll it up. Like, this one, I can roll it up. This uniform. Wow. So it's already pulling up. This one, I can roll up because it's real and I can do it. The material is not shitty as this one. This one is so shitty. I just pissed off how it doesn't work. It doesn't feel right. And it's pretty stupid now. It doesn't match. I'm pretty sure if you take it to a field, maybe it'll work. Maybe the top will be dark and the bottom will be lighter. I don't know. It's pretty stupid. If you tell me, it feels very uncomfortable. It's not very baggy. People complain when you buy comic shirts are baggy. I like that shit baggy. When uniform gets so baggy, when it gets hot, that baggy space can actually be an airable vent resource. If you buy tight, you're tightening up your chest and your neck and everything. You're tightening everything. So when it gets hot, you're like, ventilation, it's like squeezing a bag on you. Like, damn. It's like putting a trash bag and then you tighten it and you're like, damn, can't breathe in this shit. Versus you wear a baggy combat shirt and you're like, yep, that's pretty good. So I can wear a plate carrier and still feel very aired out. This one is still, it's technically an XL because I bought it said in the description 2XL, but not the Rex. I'm gonna take this off camera just so I don't accidentally pull up my shirt up. Okay, so like I was saying, it smells like a brand new car. I can tell you that right now. Okay, pretty shitty, pretty bad. I like to do a torture test on this. I honestly want to buy a mannequin and do a torture test, like shoot it with airsoft, paintball, throw mud, dirt, whack around with a bat. Don't get a knife. This thing is gonna obviously fail a knife test. It's gonna fail a lot. And if we wash it and it still looks the same, it may pass it, but we have to tear it. And I already know it's gonna tear it too, because you already heard a little pop. I'm gonna show you again how it makes it pop. What the heck? It's not making it. See, I heard it just right now when I pull on it, it made a pop sound. That's how you tell how shitty it's sewed on. But again, the whole conspiracy is China makes everything, and I'm like, that's probably true. But there's a lot of things that China can't really make that we can go to make. Let me put the uniform on. Am I wearing this backwards? No, I'm not wearing it backwards. Okay, M81. Pretty good camouflage. Love it a lot. It's a good camouflage. I can agree with a lot of the people who say the good things about it. The bad things, I could stop you right there and say, hold up. Multicam is overkill. It's full of patterns that you could use for a tan or desert base type of scenario, but we're more of woodland type of base, especially here in San Antonio, Texas. Another camouflage we'll go through is all these. Now we already went to the whole rabbit hole of an M81 camo. It's a pretty good effective camouflage. I will ignore the people who say buy 511, Condor. True specs, I would say yeah, go for it. But at a point, woodland is getting expensive for the true specs. Just buy anything you see in the surplus store that's sitting right there with a tag in there that says military use only, or not military use. Just stamps that you know it's real military gear. buy that. Don't buy the combat shirt. Don't buy Cry and just say, yeah, I'm going to the field. Just buy the stuff that you like. Pick a camouflage that you're going to stick with. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you can sell the old uniform that you're wearing and buy the next one. You can buy a multicam, you can buy a flectarn. And when you really like the camouflage, like for example, I like this camo so much, I'm going to buy a combat shirt of this one. And this is, I know for sure, you're getting a pretty buck because the camouflage that you know it's effective and you like that camouflage. And you know you're going to use it. if it's a tan based, I would wear this. It's the only camouflage I know that my combat shirts, comfortable ones. But as far as that, I still gotta get information about all of these camouflage. The M81 retro, classic, old school. A lot of things you can say about it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. They make combat vests of these camouflage. They're pretty cool, but it look pretty heavy too. Like you can get less ventilation out of it. It's probably gonna be a little more comfortable than plate carrier, but it's gonna be very hot in that vest. It'd be like pulling your vest down like that. And it's hot as hell. It's hot as hell. Do what I do. I know it's outdated, it's Vietnam, but they still wore this during the 2000s. They have the pistol web belt. And that's another video and review. The pistol web belt makes everything lighter, and you don't have to worry about having. The only thing you'll be paranoid is getting shot at, but there's a risk of wearing light gear. Light gear means less protection, less weight to worry about, but more chances are you getting hit in the chest. You're gonna get a lot of injuries, and then the chances are you have a less chance to live. Here's stories, real stories from other veterans out there that say, yeah, my life would have been saved if I wore plate carrier or that Kevlar vest they wore back in the day. That's why their PTSD is when I wear a vest, I feel like a turtle. When I don't wear the vest, I feel like a turtle without a shell, and I'm very paranoid. That's why it's an old argument. This I can love it all the time. It's light. It gets hot in Texas so much. This is more effective because you're not covering your whole chest anywhere. It's very light. Even if it feels a little heavy, it's perfectly good weight. It's a belt-based / harness-based kind of gear. And then your mag pouch can be front or back, depending how you want to rock it. And that's it. It's also good cosplay if you want to be a Vietnam role, but this is good for Vietnam / any mid-2000 woodland camo. I'm still doing research what they were back in the 90s when they were in Iraq. So this is a U.S. Desert trial color camo. That's another research and another look-up gear I want to get into for the desert. Anyways, thank you for you guys watching, and I hope you guys like this video, and see you guys in the next video.